If you're a man over 60, or even younger, I want you to listen very closely. Because today, we're going to address a question most men will never bring up in public, but almost everyone has thought about in private. Masturbation and your prostate. And before we go any further, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always amazed by the number of countries that join our discussions on men's health. Now, the question: what actually happens to your prostate if you masturbate every single day? It's a topic wrapped in myth, moral warnings, and downright fear-mongering. Maybe you've read that it wears out your prostate. Maybe you've heard that it causes inflammation, or, worst of all, that it could raise your risk of prostate cancer. These fears are so common that they've become a kind of whispered rule among men: don't overdo it, or you'll pay the price later. But here's the truth, and I mean actual truth backed by hard science, not internet rumors. I'm Dr. Matt, and in this video we're going to take a serious, no-nonsense look at the evidence. What you're going to learn might just flip everything you've believed about this subject upside down. Before we can talk about daily masturbation, we have to understand the key player here: the prostate gland. Imagine something about the size of a walnut, sitting just below your bladder and in front of your rectum. Its main job is producing seminal fluid, the nutrient-rich liquid that mixes with sperm to create semen. The prostate is a small organ, but its influence on men's health is enormous. It's involved in sexual function, fertility, and even urinary control. And unfortunately, it's also prone to problems as men get older: inflammation, enlargement, and cancer. Prostate cancer, in fact, is one of the most common cancers in men. So naturally, anything that might increase or decrease that risk matters a lot. For decades, the belief that frequent ejaculation was harmful went unchallenged. Part of this came from older moral codes disguised as health advice. Part of it came from a lack of research. And part of it was simple fear: if the prostate can get inflamed or develop cancer, surely constant sexual activity must make things worse, right? Wrong. The turning point came when researchers decided to test these assumptions with real data. One of the most important studies on this topic came from the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health. This wasn't some quick survey. It followed nearly 32,000 men over the course of almost 20 years. One of the main things they tracked was how often the men ejaculated, from sexual activity, masturbation, or both. And here's where things got interesting. When the data was analyzed, a clear pattern emerged: men who ejaculated more frequently had a lower risk of developing prostate cancer. Specifically, those who ejaculated 21 or more times per month had up to a 33% lower risk compared to those who only ejaculated 4 to 7 times per month. That's not a small difference. That's a third less risk. And remember, this isn't just one isolated study. Later research, including a large Australian study, confirmed the link. This is the exact opposite of the old warnings. Instead of harming the prostate, regular ejaculation appears to protect it. Scientists have explored several possible explanations, and they all make sense when you think about how the body works. Prostate flushing effect. Think of the prostate like a network of small ducts and storage spaces. Over time, cellular debris, metabolic byproducts, and potentially harmful compounds can accumulate there. Frequent ejaculation acts like a natural rinse cycle, flushing out old fluids and reducing the chance for harmful substances to linger long enough to cause inflammation or trigger cancerous changes. Healthy cell turnover. Every time cells divide, there's a small risk of DNA errors. If old cells in the prostate are replaced more often with healthy new ones, the chance of dangerous mutations can be reduced. Regular ejaculation may help maintain this healthy turnover cycle. Reduce stress and inflammation. Chronic stress is linked to chronic inflammation, and inflammation is a known contributor to many diseases, including cancer. Sexual release, including masturbation, is associated with reduced tension and improved mood. That reduction in stress hormones might also mean a calmer, less inflamed environment inside the prostate. These findings force us to rethink the way we talk about men's sexual health. Instead of viewing masturbation as something that drains a man's vitality, We should see it as one of the natural processes that helps maintain a clean, well-functioning prostate. But there's an important catch. This is not a license to think ejaculation alone will protect you from all prostate problems. It's just one piece of a much bigger puzzle. That puzzle, and the other powerful lifestyle factors that affect your prostate health, is exactly what we're going to dive into next. So now we know that regular ejaculation, whether through sex or masturbation, is linked with a reduced risk of prostate cancer. But that doesn't mean it's a magic shield. In fact, when we zoom out, the bigger picture of prostate health is about much more than just one habit. Let's talk about the other pillars of prostate protection, the habits that, when combined, create a strong foundation for long-term health. 1. Diet. What you eat has a direct effect on inflammation, hormone balance, and cell health in your prostate. Research consistently shows that diets rich in plant-based foods, healthy fats, and certain antioxidants are associated with better prostate outcomes. Lycopene-rich foods, tomatoes, watermelon, pink grapefruit. Lycopene is a powerful antioxidant that may protect cells from DNA damage. Cooking tomatoes in olive oil makes lycopene even more bioavailable. Cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts. They contain compounds that support the body's natural detoxification pathways. Omega-3 fatty acids, found in fatty fish like salmon and sardines. Omega-3s help reduce inflammation. Green tea, packed with polyphenol that have anti-inflammatory and anti-cancer properties. On the flip side, diets heavy in red and processed meats, high-fat dairy, and refined carbohydrates may increase inflammation and oxidative stress, both harmful for the prostate. 2. Physical activity, movement as medicine. Exercise is about more than weight control. It also improves blood flow, reduces inflammation, and balances hormones like testosterone and insulin, all of which can influence prostate health. Aim for at least 150 minutes of moderate exercise each week. Brisk walking, cycling, swimming. Include strength training 2 to 3 times a week to maintain muscle mass and metabolic health. Even short, frequent movement breaks during the day help counteract the negative effects of sitting for long periods. 3. Weight management. Obesity is linked to more aggressive forms of prostate cancer and can worsen urinary symptoms caused by an enlarged prostate. Excess fat tissue can alter hormone levels, promote inflammation, and increase oxidative stress. Maintaining a healthy weight isn't about being skinny, it's about keeping your metabolic system in balance so your organs, including your prostate, can function optimally. 4. Avoiding harmful substances. Smoking and heavy alcohol use are both linked to increased cancer risk and reduced immune function. If you smoke, quitting is one of the single best things you can do for your overall health. Alcohol should be kept within moderate limits. That's up to 2 drinks per day for men, and ideally less. 5. Regular checkups and screening. Here's the reality. You can do everything right and still develop prostate issues. That's why regular medical screening is non-negotiable. For most men that means PSA blood test. Discuss with your doctor when to start, often at age 50, earlier if you have risk factors like family history or African ancestry. Digital rectal exam, DRE not pleasant, but important for detecting abnormalities. The earlier problems are detected, the more options you have, and the better your chances for full recovery. 6. Managing stress. Chronic stress doesn't just wear you down mentally. It drives up levels of cortisol and other stress hormones, which can fuel inflammation throughout the body. Meditation, deep breathing, yoga, prayer, and hobbies you enjoy can all lower stress and help keep your prostate, and the rest of your body, in balance. When you combine all of these, healthy diet, regular exercise, weight control, avoiding harmful habits, managing stress, and regular checkups, with the sexual health habits we discussed earlier, you get a synergistic effect. Each factor strengthens the others. Now let's take all of this and look at what it means for you on a practical, everyday level. The small changes you can start making right now that will make a measurable difference for your prostate. Here's the truth. Protecting your prostate isn't about huge, overnight transformations. It's about steady, sustainable habits that become part of your daily life. Start with 1 or 2 of these. If you're not sexually active, consider that regular masturbation, yes, even daily, may be a beneficial habit for your prostate health. Add 1 serving of a prostate-friendly food to your day: a tomato salad, a cup of green tea, a handful of walnuts. Take a brisk 20-minute walk after dinner to improve circulation and aid digestion. Swap 1 processed snack for a piece of fresh fruit. Set a reminder for your annual checkup, and don't skip it. Over time, these small actions add up. They reduce inflammation, improve hormonal balance, keep your weight in check, and yes, keep your prostate functioning optimally. The bigger takeaway is this: sexual health and overall health are not separate. Your prostate is affected by everything from your diet to your stress levels to your daily routines. And the science is clear: a healthy sex life is not the enemy of your prostate. It's an ally. So, don't let outdated myths dictate how you care for yourself. Use evidence, use balance, and make decisions that align with both your physical needs and your personal values. If you found this helpful, hit that like button. It helps the channel reach more men who need to hear this information. Subscribe if you want more evidence-based discussions on men's health, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's coming next. And I want to hear from you: what other men's health topics should we explore? Drop your ideas in the comments, and remember to mention where in the world you're watching from. I read them all. Stay healthy, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next video.